Hello, welcome back to Truthseekerstea. My name is Kate and I am thankful to have you here today for our pick a card reading. I originally intended for this video to be titled, "What lesson are you currently learning?" But as I was doing the piles, I felt like a more accurate title would be advice on your current situation or whatever your spirit guides want you to hear about whatever you're learning or going through in your current circumstances. So it's a little bit more general, so I just want to be clear about that. There are 3 piles for you guys to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the Apparition Tarot with the Amethyst Crystal. For pile number 2, we have the Dreamy Moons Tarot with the Clear Quartz Crystal. And for pile number 3, we have the Affirmations Tarot with the Angel Aura Crystal. So go ahead and take whatever time you need to tune into the piles. I will have the timestamps linked down below, along with any other information about the decks if you guys are curious. And there will not be an extended reading today, just a heads up. And I think that is all I have for you guys. I hope that this reading is helpful and reaches you in a time when this is something that you really do need to hear. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Apparition Tarot deck and this Amethyst Crystal, this is going to be your reading where we're looking at what lesson you are currently learning, and we are also going to give you guidance on whatever you need to hear, whatever can help you process this, or whatever reassurance you may need right now. So, Spirit, please have me into pile number 1. What lesson are they currently learning? Any spirit guides who want to help come through to give guidance to pile number 1 on giving them clarity on what they're currently going through and what they're meant to be learning. Or whatever situation you're going through. What are you learning right now in your current life circumstances? What's pile number 1? What is pile number 1 currently learning? We have the 3 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Pentacles and the Emperor. Okay. So I feel like right now there's a lot of focus on your practical endeavors. Focus on the 3D in the sense of this could be to do with career or making moves in real life. Essentially, where are you prioritizing your time and thinking very practically. So I feel like you're going through a lesson right now where you're learning to gain more control and power in regards to who you collaborate with, who you also invest your time in. So I'm seeing that, yeah, it's like you're leveling up. You're meant to be learning about the importance of being aware of your values, being aware of what your goals are, and making sure that your energy is conducive to meeting your goals, basically. Let's get some more clarity, though. What lesson is pile number 1 learning right now? Yeah, we have the King of Pentacles, definitely. So this feels very much about your career, about you building abundance for yourself and learning ways to be more sure that the people around you are seeing your value, are respecting you, making sure this time period is about you being practical and making sure that you aren't overgiving in any capacity to situations that are not serving you, especially when it comes to either building a stable foundation, a stable relationship, or building more abundance within your job, making sure that the people around you respect you and respect your time, and that you respect your own time, essentially, as well. Here's pile number 1. What is their lesson right now? And also like maintaining your integrity. Yeah, look at this, 4 of Wands. Yeah, so there's a focus on you right now, building a solid foundation for yourself and making sure that there aren't too many distractions, that you are, I'm hearing quality over quantity. Yeah, there's a lot about balance here and confidence in the decisions you make and making sure that you're maintaining control almost. Not in an anxiety way, but in a way where you are, with the Emperor here, the Emperor is someone that knows the plan, is someone that is very like calm, cool, and collected and has the vision forward, knows how to handle challenges and knows how to stay on track, knows how to keep a solid foundation. Yeah. So definitely your masculine energy, I would say, is something that's being tested or that you're meant to lean into right now. You're meant to see things at face value as well. It's like you're meant to be looking through the lens of, how is this serving what I'm building? Is this bringing me off track? Is this a part of my plan? Like, and it's also about you having goals and like long-term goals, short-term goals, and being aware of what steps you need to take in order to create more abundance and stability for yourself, where to put your time. Yeah, we have the 3 of Wands. This is a time period about expansion. We have Justice at the back of the deck as well. So the 3 of Wands for me is an energy where it's all about expansion. It's all about so the 2 of Wands, which comes before 3 of Wands, obviously. The 2 of Wands is a stage where you were planning everything out, where you were looking to the future and you were putting a plan into action. And so then the 3 of Wands is this space where it's almost like I'm seeing someone with I'm seeing a very businessy vibe. So I don't know if you guys are like working on a business or something like that. But I'm seeing someone with like charts and projections and like a calculated outcome and making sure that things are running smoothly, making sure that you're checking all of your boxes, that everything's going according to plan. And if there are any challenges, it's almost like this energy of learning that you can be in control of that to maintain balance, because that's what Justice is about as well. Yeah, I see the 7 of Swords here too. And in the 7 of Swords, I'm almost seeing this in a way of like strategy. It's almost like you're being asked to be strategic right now. And the best way to be strategic would be to not let yourself get imbalanced in any front, or not allow, making sure that all of your relationships around you are balanced. And if you do notice that something is out of alignment or is causing chaos or is causing distraction from the plan that you have, a sense of acting quickly and being in control and not letting that get in your way or skew your plans. So there's a very practical energy here. You're being guided to focus on how you can balance out your own, like not meeting your needs, but how you can balance out your own vision for life, how you can stay in control while also making sure that you are giving a good amount of time to relationships and like having fun and celebration, and making sure that on the process of expansion, you're not getting too controlling, you're not getting too one-sided where maybe you're like overworking or you're not really making time for your relationships. But it's also on the other scale that you're making sure you're also not going lopsided and putting more effort into your relationships or fun time or connections that are fun but aren't really serving you. So it's almost like this energy of making sure that you're staying balanced within your priorities and you're making time for different parts of your life, but making sure that you're not going too far in either direction is what I'm getting. So I'm not seeing anything too intense going on in your life right now. So for this pile, I would definitely see this as like a check-in, like spirit guides telling you that you're doing a good job to like kind of keep up the work that you've been doing, they want to tell you you are on a path of expansion, that They are proud of the empowerment that you have been showing in your life, and you do have a lot of abundance coming for you is another thing I'm getting. Let me clarify this. What is pile number 1 learning in their life right now? What lesson are they meant to be integrating? We have time for a nap in reverse. So I'm even getting essentially as well, making sure that you understand that the path to expansion doesn't always mean go, go, go. And so that you're taking adequate time. Oh, I'm also getting, oh my gosh. Okay. So another lesson that you're meant to be learning is making sure that you are delegating tasks. So if you guys are some kind of a leader, or you guys may like to be doing things on your own, understanding that there is a lot of value to the energy you bring to the table, but there is also a lot of value to time management and making sure you have a balanced sense of like what you're doing. So you're taking time to rest, and also making sure that you are willing to trust other people to support you and help you, and not taking on too much to a point where you feel like you're burning yourself out because you want expansion, because your goal is expansion. Realizing that it's important to have a solid foundation, and that means to have a supportive foundation. Making sure that that you don't get so focused on a certain goal that you're not seeing the value of building a strong, supportive community of people around you, or supportive relationships, and understanding that being the emperor doesn't mean that you have to do everything on your own. And watching out for stubbornness as well is what I'm getting. We have to go the distance in reverse. Yeah. And so I'm also seeing that I think this group definitely has some long-term goals. And so I feel like you're learning right now about what is sustainable. So learning that it's important to understand that if you want to make it all the way, or you have some pretty big goals, and understanding that you have to go about it in a sustainable way, to make sure that you don't fall off of your path. And so with go the distance here in reverse, I'm seeing that you're being tested as to how you respond to setbacks, or how you, so like, for example, let's say there's like a mishap in like a plan or something, like let's say in the pursuit of your goals, there is like a mishap. It's about saving your energy and understanding that maybe you will have to push out the deadline. Maybe you will have to make accommodations. It's about not being too rigid and not being so specific in the way you thought things were going to go, the way you thought things were going to expand, that you are eroding your sense of stability or eroding your connections. Making sure that you're still taking time for your relationships. You're taking time for fun. You're taking time for rest. And understanding that you may sabotage yourself by not maintaining a balance of priorities. What else, Spirit? Yeah, we have by the book here in reverse. So what I'm seeing is that you guys may have like a rigid way of what I'm really thinking about. So I've been reading a lot about the personality types and the like Myers and Briggs personality types. And what I'm getting is that I think this group is a very like, so there's this thing called judging versus perceiving. And the judging part definitely isn't like, oh, you're judgmental. It's more that it more talks about the way that you would handle making a decision. So like the judging type of people are the type that they want to see like what their goal is, and then they want to like map out the plan. So they want to, for example, a judging type of person, let's say you want to make a social plan with someone. The judging type would be like, okay, like we need to get down on the books that on this date, this is where we're going to go. We need to book our plane tickets. And when we get there, this is the hotel we're staying at. And this is what we're going to do each day. And like, let's plan it out so it can go as smoothly as possible. And then there's another type of person that's the perceiving type, who also wants to plan this trip and wants to go on it, but they may avoid putting in so many rigid definitions of how it's going to go, because for them, they like to keep their mind open, because they like to continue to take in take in information as long as they can, so they can better adjust their plan. So they like staying flexible. So there's an energy here of learning that as you move forward, it's important that you're willing to be flexible when new thing, like understand that it's good to have a plan, but it's also good to be flexible when things do come up, or to not start sabotaging yourself because things didn't go as you planned them. And to not like work double time if there is an obvious barrier, you know, in the pursuit of your goals in some way. So with By the Book here, this is about being willing to occasionally make your own rules, or that you don't need to follow such a rigid set of like a process, almost understanding that being sometimes flexible, there's a need for both with Justice here. There's a need for Two of Pentacles. There's a need to be willing to be flexible and open to other people's ideas, but also stay confident and strong within your own ideas, and understanding that both are important for you and both are what is going to help you reach your goals faster and more efficiently. So avoiding falling into an overly rigid or an overly controlling way of being is a lesson you're learning. All right, what else? Pile number 1. We also have why here, yeah. And so what I'm seeing is to not lose the why behind your intentions and your efforts, because what I'm seeing is, this is kind of what I'm getting at in regards to what I was just talking about. So sometimes when we get like kind of stubborn about an idea, or like we want a certain idea, we can sometimes forget like the original reason why we were arguing that. And then when it comes down to it, we might realize that the reason why we wanted things to be this way, it may be for a reason that isn't really conducive to your goals. So it's about really making sure that you're willing to constantly readjust what your vision is, and to be flexible in realizing maybe when sometimes something you were pursuing maybe wasn't for a reason that was true to you, and understanding that sometimes it can be about just reaching a goal. It's like almost like not even because you want it that bad. It's more like because you wanted to prove your point, or like prove that like your way was right, but then you kind of lose touch of what the original purpose was in the situation. So an example of that would be, so what this card talks about specifically is when sometimes we can think that we still care about a person, or like we still want to like talk to them, or it's like, oh, I want closure, but like sometimes what we really want is to like be validated about our point. And so like we want to argue with them, but at the end of the day, it's not really because we want the relationship anymore. It might just be because we wanted to like prove that we're right. And so I feel like it's being aware of making sure that the energy you're putting into something is for a reason that's actually going to bring you expansion, rather than just being rigid for the sake of being rigid, or the sake of kind of proving your point in a way. And I'm also seeing with the here and now, I feel like this is at the back of the deck, because I feel like you're being called to, yes, have your plans, and honor, like it's a good thing to be someone that has plans and has a way that they like doing things that they know is proven to be successful. But it's also important to not live so in the future and not be so cognizant of where you want to go in the future that you're missing out on the present moment, because then you may miss out on important information that would help you shift to a more successful path. And also what I'm getting is you may neglect other parts of your life because you're so focused on one aspect of expansion, or one aspect of where you want to get to. So looking out for that especially. All right, so let me get some guidance as well. And I'm also just really getting this energy of like, it's important to rest. It is important to have balance on your pursuit. And sometimes being overly tenacious can slow you down or cause issues. That's what I want to say. You can't control everything is what I'm hearing. And also but I do want to validate the sense that yes, you can't control everything, but there is definitely value in having a strategy and doing your best to set yourself up for success. But when that can go too far, that's where you're learning about. All right, what guidance do we have for pile number 1? Okay, we have this and that can be true. Be generous of spirit, co-create with spirit. We have time for collaboration in reverse as well, and then sweet results await. So all these came out, and I feel like they are quite relevant to this, so I'm going to take them. But yeah, what I'm really seeing is, I think this is a very motivated pile. Like, I feel like you guys are very like tenacious in life. But I feel like Spirit is saying you would be better off if you're willing to collaborate with others. I'm actually going to read this one because there's a strong message that you would be able to be more productive if you delegate your tasks and trust in other people to help you. So it's not as much of a burden on you. So you're not taking on all of the work for something. You guys may have a habit of taking on a lot of the work and then burning yourself out. Okay, so this is the protection message for this. It says, do you really believe you have to do everything yourself? Do you believe that somehow any help you get will be disappointing or not good enough? Perhaps it's a time to address your issues of control and bias towards the negative. It doesn't matter where or why you became pessimistic or mistrustful. The fact that the Ant Spirit is showing up is a sign you now have an opportunity to heal and to relearn to trust that others will show up for you in a genuine way. And that's that Three of Pentacles. Ant Spirit wants you to remember that your expectations and limiting beliefs are a vibrational offering that draws the opposite of what you desire. Spirit wants to help you and will send collaborative partners your way. It's time to see the universe as conscious and connected, loving and helpful, but you must participate in the activity of co-creation. Creating reality is not just about dreaming. If you're feeling orphaned from community, reach out and communicate. If you're feeling vulnerable, know that being present in your vulnerability can help you draw in someone who wants to assist you. Yeah, so, and what I'm really getting is that energy of like the Four of Wands, like having a supportive home base and trusting that other people want to support you and can support you, and you don't have to do everything yourself. And that's why co-create with Spirit is here, because what it is that honestly a lot of times people will have a harder time with the opposite. So it's like amazing to see that you're so good at like doing the work and being hardworking and being organized and just like, competent. I feel like you guys are very competent. And you guys are definitely not lazy. You guys have a really strong work ethic, but there's a need to kind of understand that you don't have to do all the work yourself. And by being in that mode of thinking you have to, that's kind of limiting the abundance you can have. Because a part of a manifestation of abundance is trusting that it's yours, And so if you feel like you have to burn yourself out and over prioritize it, you're kind of telling the universe that it's harder than it is, or that only good things come with like burning yourself out, and that isn't the case. But that could be a vibration that you're attracting to yourself. And so there is this call to be more trusting that your hard work is paying off and that you can afford to take breaks. You can afford to trust other people to help you. And it's important with this why here to ask yourself maybe why sometimes you feel averse to that. And then with this and that are true, that's that rigid thinking is what I'm getting. Okay, it says, when you most want to be acknowledged as right and see the other ways as wrong, Dolphin Spirit appears as a reminder that the story of your suffering and righteousness is a little more complicated than you're admitting right now. Do you want to see things in black and white and be rigid in your ideas of what's correct and what is not? Release your rigidity and embrace the fluidity of life as you recognize the grays that remind you that there are two sides to every story, an upside to each downside and a blessing in every challenge. What you think is wrong may end up being right for you. So let the Dolphin Spirit soften your heart so that you may make the best decision at this time, playing with the possibilities that present themselves. So I feel like that's exactly what I was kind of getting at, is like the need to stay a little bit more flexible in the way your strategy, and making sure that you're not getting so rigid in what you think is the right way or what you think is going to bring success that you're actually cutting yourself off to potential facts or information that could actually really benefit you if you're willing to open up a little bit. And understanding that this is a spectrum, like it's important to, that's why justice is here. It's about understanding that there is validity in both ways of doing things, and it isn't about, and that's also very black and white, right? It's understanding that yes, there's these two opposing ways that sometimes can contradict each other, but understanding that in the same scenario, both people can be somewhat wrong and both people can be somewhat right. And so making sure that we're not so cut off to seeing the other side. And with be generous of spirit, I feel like what this is saying is, I don't know, there's an energy here of Okay, so I'm gonna read it to you. So it says a healthy ego means you ease God's order instead of edging God out. Yeah. Lion spirit appearance is a reminder that you have been given the gift of healthy pride and a healthy sense of worth to express your divine authentic self in a unique way. Um, you are both the king and the queen, secure in your prosperity and wisdom, and generous of spirit as you help others. Take pride in your ability to serve from the heart. Contentment with what you have right now allows you to use your resources wisely as you give to others in a way that educates, heals, and inspires them. Be proud yet humble. Practice gratitude, and you'll find that the accolades that come to you are no match for the joy of knowing what you've been able to do for others through expressing the bounty of generosity within you. Yeah, and so it says all your relationships flourish as you express your worth and generosity of spirit with humility and kindness. So yeah, you're just kind of being asked to be a little bit more open to other people and understanding that in the energy of being generous and humble, like you attract more abundance to yourself. And you also attract more relationships that can give back to you. And you guys also may be the type that feel like you always want to be in the giver role. And so it's like spirit's commending you for your competence and your confidence as well, like, and the fact that you do take on a lot of responsibility, and I feel like you are actually generous with others. It's more about understanding that that isn't always the role that you have to be in, and you can better be in this role when sometimes you allow yourself to be in the receiving role and allow other people to take the reins sometimes, and understand you may need that as you move forward, and that that could actually make things a lot easier for you. So that is what I have for you guys, pile number one. I hope you found this helpful or interesting. If you did, please hit the like button. It really supports my channel. Leave a comment if you have time to do so. I do love to read your comments, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card or reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. You chose the Dreamy Moons Tarot with this clear quartz heart. This is going to be your reading where we're looking at what lesson you are currently learning, what you are meant to be integrating right now, and basically whatever guidance your spirit guides have for you on how to best navigate whatever challenges you may be experiencing. Also, like validating what you're doing right now as well. But essentially, this is going to be guidance on clarifying what energy you're meant to be leaning into and what lesson you're meant to be learning. So let's get into it. Spirit, please have me into pile number two. Pile number one ended up being like a lot more practical than I expected. So we'll see what comes through for this pile. All right, what does pile number two need to hear right now in regards to the lessons that they're learning? All right, we have the Nine of Swords, Nine of Crystals in this deck. We have the Eight of Wands. Okay, we have the Queen of Crystals, the Empress. Also, we have the Five of Wands. We have the Knight of Crystals as well. All right, and the Knight of Stars at the back of the deck. Okay. I feel like there may be a need to like assert yourself, or it's like you're learning right now how to stand strong in your truth, how to not worry about how other people are going to react to your unique perspective. And it's about not letting your fear of maybe other people disagreeing with you, other people not being happy with what your boundaries are or what your truth is. It's about, this is the time period of learning about the importance, the fact that you're worthy, the fact that your opinion and your truth is important because you well, it's important, everyone's truth is important to them, but this is really a strong time period of maybe overcoming any thoughts of maybe not feeling worthy of disagreeing with others, or not feeling worthy of asserting your point of view and trusting that you deserve to do that. I feel like there's something about that where there's a sense of not backing down. I feel like you're learning right now to not get in your head and to be strong in your point, because I feel like with the Knight of Crystals here, this, I'm getting this in a positive sense, because the Knight of Crystals is an energy that's very very sure of themselves and very what's the word, all borderline aggressive about getting their point across. And also I feel like the Knight of Swords is one that definitely doesn't hold back or doesn't worry too much if someone else doesn't agree with them. It's like they're very sure of their point. And so with the Eight of Wands, I'm also getting that it's something that the Eight of Wands can talk about communication. So there may be someone or some message that you're being encouraged to share. You may be feeling stuck as well. Like there may be a part of you that is holding back or is procrastinating on telling someone something because you think it might be controversial, or you're like avoiding conflict. But recognizing that a part of being the Empress, a part of knowing your worth, is integrating the Queen of Swords. And sometimes that's really hard, especially for people who consider themselves to be like empathic or just like softies, you know? But recognizing that oftentimes we sell ourselves short, or we allow ourselves to be walked over, to stay small, to avoid like bothering other people, or we start betraying ourselves to keep ourselves quiet, to not be aggressive, to not make waves, you know what I mean? And there's this sense of like what you're learning right now is, if it's your authentic truth, it does not matter how aggressive it is. It does not matter how much it shifts. It's that's what's meant to happen. Because with the Eight of Wands, it talks about messages, but also like a shift of energy. And there's this sense of like you maybe feeling anxious about doing that, about speaking your truth, about asking for your worth, about disagreeing with people. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing. And it may even be that there's some opportunity or something you want to go towards. Sorry, my throat has a tickle. I'm gonna sip of water. But it's like you may need to move away from some kind of a chaos or some kind of an energy. Like I feel like you're at this point right now where in order to get what you want or get your worth and to take control of your life with the Emperor here, it's like you may need to move away from something, you know, or you may need to I feel like standing still is not going to get you what you want. And that may be your comfort zone, to like almost want to be passive. But what I'm seeing is you're being called to step into this Queen of Swords energy. And the Queen of Swords is someone who doesn't suffer fools lightly, someone who doesn't sugarcoat things or worry. Like if it's if it's your truth, then it doesn't matter what other people react to. And the Queen of Swords knows that. And so you're being called to step more into your value by knowing this truth, by knowing that you deserve to move forward and stand up for yourself, no matter how uncomfortable it is for other people and even you. And there's also an energy of not overthinking and like just do it, like Nike, like just do it. Like if not waiting a second longer, because I'm also getting like a throat chakra blockage, or you know when you need to say something to someone that's like kind of uncomfortable and it's like you're like gonna say it any second, but then suddenly you're like your throat just like can't talk. I'm kind of getting that where it's like backing out because it's like, oh God, like I feel like I can't speak, you know, because it's just like anxiety, or it's like you get so anxious. Which I definitely understand, but it's about learning that the more you practice like standing up for yourself and like speaking your truth, even if it might be uncomfortable, it is an important part of honoring yourself and honoring your worth. All right, what lesson is pile number 2 learning? Yeah, we have time to go. So I do think there may be a certain situation you may even want to travel, or you may even feel like you may feel right now like you're not agreeing with the people around you, or there may be a certain situation that you really want to get away from. But it would require you to speak up and like say that like either like you're done with the relationship, like you want to do a different job, you want to move somewhere else. The Eight of Wands can be about travel as well. And it's about just like championing like your idea. Like with the Knight of Swords there, it's like it's moving forward and not letting anything stop you in expressing what you want. And in this case, I do really feel like it's potentially moving on, or going towards a different kind of opportunity, or transitioning to a new life, something like that. We have Treasure Island here. Yeah, there's a sense that you're starting to become more aware that maybe certain situations around you, relationships, job, or community, family situations, something like that, there's just a sense of you growing in your awareness of what you deserve and what you want. And so it's time to champion that. Because with the Treasure Island here, it's like, I feel like you see something that either you like have an intuition that you want to create something, or that you want to take some kind of an opportunity. But you may need to leave something behind in order to do that. But I feel like there's an energy of like not being completely satisfied with where you are. And so it's about refusing to surrender to not being completely happy. It's about moving into an energy of feeling 100% sure that you deserve to take a chance, take a risk, go after what you want, even if everyone else can't see what that is or doesn't understand it. It's that we have a unique way of understanding what is of value to us and what we want, even if it isn't the same idea as everyone else. Yeah, we have Unfinished Symphony. So yeah, I do feel like there's certain situations that for now you're just being called. It doesn't mean that you have to like burn bridges or cut ties completely, but I do feel like there's certain situations where you're no longer benefiting from it, or it's like you've learned all the lessons you could, and it's like you're ready for a new stage, you're ready for a new chapter. And it's just about being confident in you, that is correct, like that is valid, that you're feeling this way, and you should move towards that. We also have Yang here in reverse. Yeah. And then we also have Not For You at the back of the deck. Yeah, there's something here where it's like, you know that something isn't working for you, and like with this Yang in reverse, you may feel like aggressive, or you may feel like standing up and knowing exactly what you want and championing it in the real life and making real moves towards it. You may see that as something that's like aggressive, or something that you're just not comfortable with. It may be like a weaker muscle for you, but what Spirit is saying is you don't need to be afraid of asserting yourself and being in your masculine energy, because I almost feel like the Queen of Swords is like the most like masculine feminine energy, or of the queens, because it's this energy that's very assertive and just does it, just says it, and just knows exactly what it wants, doesn't question itself. That's the biggest thing. Doesn't question, am I allowed to take up space? Yes, you're allowed to take up space. Yes, you're allowed to go after what you want and not even worry about the consequences. And you guys may be the type that want to be polite, or like don't want to like shake things up or rock things, but you're really being encouraged to do that in whatever scenario you are in right now. Trying to see how long I've been recording for. Wow, these are going to be a little bit of shorter readings, but I guess that's okay. And I'm hearing this message of, there comes a moment when I'm getting the moment of, in Harry Potter, in the third Harry Potter movie, when Harry is waiting for someone else to do the Patronus and like get all the Death Eaters, like to get the Death Eaters away. And it's like, it's that moment when he realizes that if he wants that outcome, it's actually going to be him that does it. And he almost doubts himself. He doesn't believe that he has the power to do that. And he thinks someone else is going to do it for them. And so we sometimes shift, especially like when we're coming into our power, like it's like you're becoming aware that you are desiring a shift in your life, but maybe you're used to letting other people decide for you, or like going with the flow. But like sometimes it's actually the moment where you stand and do it for yourself. It's like you're your own hero. And sometimes we don't expect to be our own hero. or we didn't even know we had it in us, right? What advice do we have for pile number 2? We have life is speeding up in reverse, definitely. And you may be a little bit afraid of this, or it may just be out of your comfort zone. Believe in yourself. Yes. Yes. You can handle this is what I'm getting. It says give with gratitude and grace. It says turn knowledge into wisdom as well. And then embrace the in-between at the back of the deck. Freedom is yours as well. Yes, 100% freedom is yours in this situation. Like you're not tied to anything. I'm feeling very called to look at the life is speeding up in reverse because there could be some resistance to like a shift or almost, yeah, like a resistance to change potentially. Okay, it says, do you feel how fast the world is changing? Like everything is moving at warp speed. It's hard to control desired outcomes or set fixed goals because by the time you get there, you will actually have moved beyond it. Now is the time to let go and enjoy the exhilarating ride as intentions you have set in motion in the past are coming into form with lightning speed. Your job is to stay the course even if the pace feels dizzying. You may find you will change your mind a half dozen times or more as you improve your offerings, and that is fine. Make peace with the pace, for if you ride this quickening energy, you will solve challenges quickly and effortlessly instead of being bogged down. The best way to use this energy is to let go of worry. And that's that like 9 of Swords. You may be afraid of like the shift. It says let go of worry and stay mindfully present as you continue to take action. Yes, like just go with it is what I'm hearing. Also, something is not going to be in your best interest no matter how badly you want it. Antelope will quickly remove it so you can move towards what is truly meant for you. If something is taken away, be grateful and keep moving. This is not the time to sit still, but to breathe deeply as you move forward with velocity. And that's that Knight of Swords, the 8 of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles is this standing still energy. And so you're meant to just kind of trust and go with this burst of energy that I feel like it is moving through you. So another good one, I definitely want to read you the 57, believe in yourself. It says you have accumulated wisdom and experience and are surrounded by all you need, an abundance of resources available to you through the generosity of spirit and all your hard work. Squirrel spirit shows up when you need a reminding that the acorns you have gathered and sowed away have enormous potential to grow. So relax in knowing there is always enough and you have what it takes to co-create the reality you want to experience. Through diligent preparation, you have gained, it's like you're ready. What spirit is saying is like, you have the wisdom and the intelligence. You don't need to doubt yourself or doubt your ability to move through this transition. You're capable. You have all you need for this shift. Yeah, definitely. It says you have everything you need. And so like maybe some anxieties you're having, you know, there's a sense that you don't need to worry about whatever challenges may come up. Understand they will quickly be moved through because you have the wisdom. And the Queen of Swords is also about wisdom and intelligence. And I feel like with turn knowledge into wisdom, it's like you are very wise and you have enough experience. You have all the information you need to ride the wave. It's almost like I'm getting this energy of like I want to push you off the cliff, but like not to kill you, to because you wanted to. Imagine that like you had been researching going bungee jumping and like this is something you really want to do and I know you really want to do it and like you just know everything about it. You know this is really what you want, but like now that you're getting to the cliff, you're like afraid of that last jump. And like it's almost like you just need to do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Just go. You can do this. You'll figure it out as you go along. You are on the right path. You have everything you need to come up against any challenges or any perceived anyone standing against you. It's like, I'm really seeing that you guys are in this time period of actually manifesting. I feel like you guys have been manifesting certain goals. And it's almost that energy of like, oh my gosh, like now they're here. Now it's coming. Now it's actually time to put my money where my mouth is. It's time to have my actions. It's time to take action because I feel like you guys have been good with the manifestation aspect, like the passive part of it where, through meditation or like through connection with spirit, I feel like you guys are connected but it does require actually taking the risk and taking the actions to move forward. I feel like you and pile number one would be a good team because I feel like you guys would give each other the right opposite energy that each person needs. But yeah, I'm really getting that you guys are much more prepared, very prepared for whatever whatever goals you have or whatever changes you've been wanting. It may be that you're in a comfort zone, but deep down, you know you want to get out of this. But it may just be a little bit disorienting when the real change comes. And it's like, okay, like here it is. Wow, I really have to do this now. But you have everything you need. You have the wisdom. There's nothing left to prepare. I'm almost getting like an over prepared energy or like perfectionist energy even too, where it's like like a way that like sometimes perfectionism is like a sign of anxiety because it's the thing that keeps us from actually just moving forward because we're like, oh no, it's not ready yet. We have to like keep planning it, or we have to keep like double checking and like things like that. But it's sometimes we can just realize it becomes honestly like this energy of procrastination. And so Spirit's saying this is not the time for procrastination. And I feel like you almost might have no choice. Like I feel like things are changing anyways for the good though. And with embracing between at the back of the deck, I do feel like this could be a time where a lot is changing and you don't see the clarity yet, or you don't see where you're landing, but Spirit's asking you to trust that these changes are happening for a reason. You can handle them and they're actually for your highest good and they're really benefiting you. So yeah, that's what I'm getting for you guys. I hope that was helpful. If you found anything in this helpful, I really do appreciate if you guys are able to hit the like button. It really supports my channel. Leave a comment if you have time. I love to see what you guys have to say. And subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon. Hello, pile number 3. If you chose the Angel Aura Crystal and the Affirmations Tarot, this is going to be your reading. The original topic that I was trying to do was what lesson are you learning right now? But I found with pile number 1 and 2, it honestly is more like what is your advice on your current situation and what guidance do you need to navigate your current circumstances. So I think I might change the title of that and like maybe it'll be confusing for pile number 1 and 2, but that's kind of what we're going for here. So for pile number 3, Spirit, what guidance they need to hear on what lessons they're integrating, how to navigate their current circumstances, whatever is most helpful for pile number 3. Okay. With the King of Pentacles and the Fool. Ace of Cups. Okay. What's starting to come through, I feel like this pile, you guys may be in some kind of a comfort zone. And so what's coming through is learning to be open to new opportunities and be open to take risks and be willing to be in a beginner's mindset. So you don't miss out on potential opportunities because you may feel like you have everything you need already, or you may feel already experienced in something or already settled in, like you have everything you need, but there's a sense of reintegrating more spontaneous energy and a beginner's mindset again, so you have more opportunities, especially when it comes to emotional happiness, maybe love, or just like things that like speak to your inner child. We have the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Remembering to, I feel like you guys have had a lot of experience in life already. We have the Four of Wands. But with the Nine of Wands here, I'm kind of getting that I feel like you guys are very hard workers. I feel like you have persisted on some kind of a journey, and I feel like you have made some kind of stability for yourself. And I see this turtle like relaxing in his like home domain. But I do feel like sometimes once we've climbed to the top of the mountain, like we have some wounds to get there. Like you don't achieve anything great without having overcome challenges. And even though you may have found a sense of stability, sometimes we feel we feel a little bit more guarded or reluctant to reopen up to new things and to kind of start anew. And I'm kind of getting like the Ouroboros circle, like how life is just a circle. It's like we reach this like goal and like we get to the top, but then we just start over again, and it's kind of this cyclical nature of life, and realizing that you could stagnate again by just staying in like a comfort zone. We have Queen of Pentacles here. Wow. And Two of Cups. Oh my gosh. So I really feel like what this reading is about is like, perhaps in order to build like a long-term relationship, there is a need to like put yourself out there, or there's a need to take risks in other parts of your life. So it's like, it may be that you're successful in your career, or you're confident in who you are. You have all that figured out, but there's a sense of needing to reopen maybe in other aspects of your life that are a little bit less figured out, because of the Two of Cups at the back of the deck. This may be a time to consider opening yourself up to love, or opening yourself up to a partner, because we have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, and figuring out if and you maybe have even found some sense of stability for yourself, but it's like learning to share that with someone else, and what happiness that can bring to your life. And there may even be, Spirit wants to like warn you, or like, it's funny that I'm even saying warning, because like, I don't know, maybe you guys feel a little bit less comfortable with being like intimate and like romantic, but there's a sense of like, it's funny that I'm saying warning, because usually I wouldn't say, oh, I want to warn you that there may be a love opportunity. I would say, oh, I want to like let you know because this is exciting. But like for you guys, maybe there's a need to kind of look at, is this kind of outside of your comfort zone? Like, it's very possible to be very comfortable in certain parts of our life, but like, it's okay to recognize that we're maybe still learning in another part of our life. And so I just feel like there's an essence of not holding on too tightly to where you are stable as a means of like not learning in a new category, and especially if it's like love. And I'm hearing a crazy little thing called love. Because there's like counterpart energy here, and it may be that you need to be a little bit more open to new opportunities in order to be successful in relationships. What guidance do we have for pile number 3? We have mending here in reverse. We have to the sea in reverse. We have observer. And fork in the road. Okay. I'm also wondering if there's maybe like a certain person that you have like unfinished business with. This is like maybe a really specific message for some of you guys, but there maybe is a certain person that it would really serve you to like take a risk and give an offer of love to this person. I feel like there's a sense that you guys have been held back with the to the sea in reverse. Like, there may have been a time period where you were working on yourself, or you were, all right, sorry about that. A timer went off on my phone. It cut the reading off. But anyways, what I'm seeing is that it could be that there was like a past disappointment in love, or yeah, something related to love. And I'm seeing that it may have cut off like your receptivity to new opportunities that actually could be really high value and supportive to you. And there's a sense of, if you take a step back and kind of reorient your view, it may kind of change your perspective on your love life or what you want. Yeah, because I feel like with this mending in reverse, there's a sense that there has been disappointments on your path that have served you. But I am seeing now that there is an opportunity to choose to open up again. Yeah, so I might get actually some additional cards for this pile because it's not coming through as clearly as I was getting for the other piles. But I do feel like this has something to do with, I don't know, what you envisioned for, I don't know, like a love life, or you may have wanted things to go a certain way. And so because they didn't go that way, maybe you're having a hard time seeing a different potential. Spirit, can you clarify anything that pile number 3 needs to hear? It says, I forgive myself for expecting it all to somehow fall apart when I'm faced with a challenge. I choose to believe that even challenging circumstances serve to support me as they bring with them offering a renewed perspective. Yeah, so what I'm getting is I do think there has been some sort of challenges you've experienced. I'm a little bit confused in regards to what it is, but I feel like maybe it's different for all of you, or you guys will know. But I feel like it's in the realm of relationship. And you may feel like you're not ready to move forward again, or the challenges still weigh on you, or it's almost like this feeling of, because there were challenges, I feel discouraged now to try again, I think is what I'm getting. But it's realizing you still have options and opportunities and not thinking that your chance is gone, or something like that. It says, it's now safe to allow for the unfolding of my own unique divine timeline. I choose to remember that although at times it may feel as though I've taken a step backwards, after having moved forward, standing still from time to time allows me to clarify the direction in which I'm going to go next before picking up momentum again. Okay, yeah, so what I'm seeing is, again, this feels very much like about your journey, and understanding that maybe taking a pause right now and reassessing what your options are, and maybe letting go of past disappointments and accepting that maybe was okay that it happened that way, will open you up to seeing that there's maybe more opportunities than you realize, or that remembering that it's okay sometimes when things unfold in a way that we didn't think would be okay, but it's actually realizing we get stronger through those experiences. Yeah, and it may even be, maybe there was some relationship that didn't work out. Let me get some more tarot. I need more information on this one. Why is the Four of Wands here? Six of Swords. Yeah, there may be something you had to move on from that you really wanted to work. And you may have felt like beat up for it, but with the Fool being here, it's kind of understanding that every time we go for something that we're still learning about, or something that, the Fool is the beginning of the journey. And it's kind of accepting the fact that we don't always get it right the first time. And so I don't know if this is like, maybe you had a divorce or something, or some relationship you had really high hopes for, you ended up having to move away from, for some of you. Or it may even be that, yeah, let me clarify the Fool. Yeah, the Lovers. I feel like you feel like you're afraid to open your heart again because of something that's happened in the past. And you may feel like kind of jaded a little bit, or like you doubt yourself now, or you doubt your ability to make good decisions. But it's just kind of honoring the fact that sometimes you should still go after what you want with the Nine of Cups here, and not hold failed expectations against yourself. Why is the Ace of Cups here? Yeah, what Spirit's saying is there's still opportunities out here for collaboration. We have the Three of Pentacles. It's trusting that what your original goal was is still possible. It's okay that there was a mishap, and it's okay if you maybe had your heart broken, or, on the path you maybe started being very independent. And maybe for a time period that was okay, but it's time to kind of zoom back out and reassess things, and try to understand that it's okay that the journey didn't go exactly how you wanted, but it doesn't mean that we give up on the journey, or that like we're completely not ready. It says, I forgive myself for mistaking achievement as a measurement of my worth. I choose to believe that although I may find myself drawn towards achievement, my worth is not in any way defined defined by the extent to which I'm capable of attaining my goals. Yeah, so it may even be that like you had a goal for something and you're taking it very like hard on yourself or personally, like it's like an ego blow that something didn't pan out the way that you were planning. And it could be because you guys are very much usually used to success in a different part of your life. Because I was picking up that there is something about you that is expertise on one level, but it's realizing that we still are novices in other parts of our life, and that's okay. It's like applying the same philosophy. It probably took you a long time to get to some sort of expertise, maybe in your career or in some other part of your life. But understanding that failure is okay, and if you're not failing, you're not trying. Like understanding that we can actually commend ourselves for the strength it takes to try something new and to get our hopes up, and understand that like it's important to not close ourselves off when a failure happens. That's not the purpose. The purpose is to break ourselves open and understand our resilience and redefine what we learned through those experiences so we can better assert ourselves next time. So it's like learning from our mistakes and not letting like our hardships be what breaks us, you know? Yeah, I'm seeing sometimes life stings, like kind of just accepting that sometimes, yes, like life does go wrong, but it's about trusting that that doesn't mean anything about you and like your value. It also doesn't mean anything about how capable you are of reaching that goal. Oh gosh, okay. That was a lot. Okay, so we have co-create with spirit, let it shine, the peacock spirit. We have watch your words, and then trust in divine detours, and act as if. Yeah, and so what I'm seeing, I think there's some facet of your life that you're just a little bit less comfortable in. And maybe your usual strategy that worked in another part of your life didn't necessarily work for this, and so now you're feeling very discouraged by it. But what I'm seeing is understanding that in order to co-create with spirit, there is a need to be receptive to opportunities, and there is a need to trust that it is coming your way. And there's, when things don't work out, that's usually like spirit clearing the way for something that will work out better. And with watch your words, for me, this can be like you guys may be really hard on yourselves, is what I'm getting. Like I feel like you guys may beat yourselves up when something doesn't go well. And it's about learning to be like really kind to yourself through hard times, and not taking like failed experiences as like a statement on who you are or what your worth is, and to not beat yourself up. There's a huge ask for that. And with trust and divine detours, I'm going to read you trust and divine detours because I feel like this is very much what I'm feeling is a message for you here. It says, do you find that you're being led on a strange detour in your life right now? Does it seem like what appears to be the next right action and the right choice, best situation, or fabulous relationship unexpectedly turns out to be the opposite, or just disappears into thin air as if you've been tricked? Coyote's spirits, trickster energies designed to bring you into situations to teach you lessons you have forgotten to learn. Perhaps you need a taste of failure before you experience success, a need to feel disappointed before you can truly appreciate the joy, love, and prosperity that is coming to you. Perhaps you are revisiting a pattern you forgot wasn't in alignment with your life you are intended to co-create. Being reminded that gratitude, not complacency, will keep you awake and aware of all that is available to you in this moment. 100%. That statement, like staying receptive, remembering that, finding the lesson and understanding that it's okay that in the process of co-creation, we are sometimes led to paths that like there is value to it because we did need to learn something there in order to get to the next level. It's like you needed that challenge to get to where you want to go, and to not think that being led into a situation that wasn't going to be prosperous is a failure. You know, it's more like, oh, this is actually the lesson you needed to go to the next stage. So it says, it reminds you to laugh about the unexpected twists, to develop humility and gratitude while releasing your attachments to the form of your desires. It's like you may have thought you wanted something in a specific form, and then it's like your pride is getting in your way. It says, even when you suddenly find yourself in a detour, wondering when you will get back on your track to manifesting what you desire, remember that spirit has a plan and wants the best for you. Trust in divine order now. Coyote spirit is a divine helper. No matter what seems to go astray, things are exactly as they're supposed to be. So just understanding that and not letting those moments where you feel let down by where you had been led to be your unwinding, you know, and understanding that true strength is in trying again. All right, I want to see if there's anything, let it shine. I feel like what this is saying is like, Spirit's really asking you to come out of your shell and to not, I think you may have developed a little bit of like a complex where you may feel like lower in your self-esteem because of a previous failed situation or relationship. And Spirit's reminding you of what a gorgeous creature you are. It says, come out from the shadows and show your true colors so that others may be inspired to express their own exquisiteness. Dance as if you remembered that you are made of stardust and grace, filled with life force and energy, sparkling light. Catch the light and help it shimmer, and dance in celebration of your good fortune to being right here, right now. Spirit wants you to be joyful so that others may get up and dance along with you. Yeah. It says, have you been conditioned to expect to be heard if you show yourself fully to the world? Maybe not everyone will celebrate your beautiful radiance when you shine, but that is okay. It's here to remind you that while others may resist celebrating the beauty within them, although they may contract while you expand and shake your tail feathers, smile and keep dancing anyways. Model the good fortune and abundant joy that is yours, and soon someone else will say, me too, and join. Yeah, so this is really about understanding that your person is out there, and the goal of wanting to share your life with someone or build a legacy with someone is very much on, like, is what Spirit wants you to know. And you may have just fallen off hope with this, and you may have kind of been hard on yourself, but it's remembering that, you know, you're still, this didn't mean anything about you, and you are ready, you know. Sometimes it's easy to let our like experiences that didn't work out make us feel like there's something wrong with us, or like, you know, be really hard on ourselves. But understand that like you're on the right path, you're doing amazing. Open your heart, and the right people will come in. And there may have just been maybe it was the wrong person or the wrong opportunity for you. Recognize that sometimes we have to go through that experience of the wrong person, the wrong opportunity, in order to be very clear on what is the right thing. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys, pile number 3. I hope this has been helpful. If you found it helpful, I really do appreciate if you're able to like this video. If you have time, I love to hear your guys' comments, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next pick a card reading. And I hope to connect with you again sometime soon.